happy Friday. I'm Jennifer from the Somerset County Family Community Health Science Department, and welcome back to the kitchen. We're here today as summer comes to a close using some of the great New Jersey produce, fresh corn, cherry tomatoes, and we're gonna add some shrimp to our sheet pan meal. This is going to be an idea that you can take all through the fall when you're in a rush with your family and you want a delicious meal and don't have a lot of time. Sheet pan recipes are a great idea. So I have already started the process. I have my broiler warming up and I've taken 4 ears of corn and a fennel and just laid it out on a sheet pan with a little bit of salt, crushed red pepper flakes, and some olive oil. So this was broiling for about 8 minutes. So I have that off to the side, and now we're going to add the rest of the ingredients. So I have about 4 tablespoons of melted butter. And I'm going to take garlic. I don't have fresh garlic, so I am just going to use minced garlic. And we're going to do 2 teaspoons of garlic. And 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt. And 1/4 teaspoon of crushed red pepper again. So we're gonna layer that in there twice. I have a pound of shrimp. I use frozen shrimp. That makes it really cost effective. It makes it really simple. It's raw shrimp that has been deveined and the shells removed. So I'm just going to add that to the melted butter. And I have about a pint of cherry tomatoes. I've pulled these from my garden, and they're perfect for this because they're kind of tiny, but they have been delicious all summer. So I'm going to just give this a stir and get that butter and garlic mixture coated on all of the shrimp and tomatoes. Now, shrimp is one of my favorite go-tos for a quick meal because it cooks so fast. And my son, who is a picky eater, he loves shrimp. Okay, so I'm just going to put this on top of my corn that I've started to roast and just kind of layer that out so it's all even. Okay, we're gonna get this into the oven. Okay, I put the timer on for 6 minutes. Okay, in the meantime, I want to show you some hacks for corn. Now, this season, you can pop in the comments your favorite way to enjoy corn. Of course, grilling it is really delicious with some nice herb compound butter. You could just boil it, but a real quick way to cook it is in the microwave because the biggest issue, right, is shucking the corn, because when we shuck the corn, we have all that silk on there, and that can be annoying. So here's a hack. I tested it out, and it works. You just take your ear of corn, and you put it in your microwave for 4 minutes, okay? So I've done that. It's cooled a little bit so I can handle it, and now I'm just going to cut the end off. Okay, so I've cut the end off. And I'm just going to, I'm gonna cut the end off better here. You want to see the corn. My knives here in this kitchen really need to get sharp. Okay, there we go. We see the corn now. We can kind of see the steam coming off it. So all you do is just squeeze the corn out, jiggle it out. Still a little hot. And look at that. Look at that beauty. No silk, right? And your corn is steamed. How fun is that? So if you really are craving corn and you don't have time to boil it or get out on the grill, maybe it's a rainy day, pop it in the microwave, 4 minutes, cut the end off, and no silk, and it's ready to go. Okay, so let's clean this up, and I want to show you a second hack. Okay. So getting those kernels off the corn without it flying all over your kitchen and your counter. Okay, get a butt pan. This works fantastic. If you use this, give me a like, give me a heart in the comment there that you've done this hack. So you just take a sharp knife and you can then take your kernels off the cob and it falls perfectly into your butt pan. Now this is a great hack for this recipe because the recipe called for 4 ears of corn. So it made it really simple just to get all the kernels off. You can see how nice and steamy this cob still is. And it all was in here. Okay. How easy is that? Okay, now I can take this leftover corn and actually transform this if you like to. All next month we're going to be talking about meal prepping and meal planning to make life easy now that school is starting. So one of my hacks that or tips that I talk about a lot is cooking a little bit more than you need, and you can take that ingredient or that meal and transform it into a second meal. So if I have leftover corn, I can make a homemade corn salsa. I can make a bean salad and add corn to this. Just open up 2 different kinds of beans, mix it with the corn and some fresh herbs, some olive oil, and there's a great bean salad for lunch or for a side salad for another meal. So there's so many different ways that you can use what you've made and make a new meal from it. So stay tuned next month. We're going to be talking about that a lot and sharing some fun recipes. Okay, I'm going to check the shrimp. It's almost ready. And it's turning pink. So literally, I say shrimp is the fastest thing that you can make. So while we're waiting, I'm just going to cut up some of my, I forgot the lemon zest. Let's add that real quick. Okay, you can see how the shrimp is just about ready anyway. Can never forget the lemon zest, right? So fresh. This is such a great, light, fresh dinner to have in the summertime. Just the aroma of the corn and the butter. I'm gonna let this cook for 2 more minutes. And I'm gonna cut up some lemon wedges for garnish. Now, another dish that I like to make in the summertime is a boil. Let me know if you've ever made a seafood boil on the grill in the summer. I've just made it a few weeks ago. My husband loved it. You just take tinfoil and you put in some shrimp, some scallops, and andouille sausage. Cut your ears of corn into 4 pieces and maybe some Old Bay, and pop it on top of your grill. Within minutes, you'll have a delicious meal in your foil packet. So this sheet pan is kind of a play off a boil. And you can definitely add scallops to this. If you didn't want to use shrimp, you can make this all a scallop dish. So you can have fun with what you have on hand and what your family likes. You can also add different vegetables. If you don't like fennel, which a lot of people don't like that strong flavor, I tend to love it. Me and my mother love it. Actually, a dish that I've started making every Christmas is a roasted fennel, where you just, this is what fennel looks like. So it's just like this. It comes in that bulb and you just peel away the layers. It's very fresh. And I just sliced it up with some olive oil and roast it, and I add some pomegranate seeds. It just is a beautiful side dish, and I don't know, it's a new tradition now. Okay, I'm gonna take the shrimp out. Now look at that beautiful sheet pan. The shrimp is cooked. The tomatoes are starting to burst. And what I'm going to do is just add a little garnish. So for my garnish, I've saved the fronds of the fennel. So this is the top of the fennel. Kind of looks like dill. So you can just pull some of the fronds out and add that as garnish. If you don't want to use fennel, like I was starting to say, you can use red onion. That would be a great addition here. Adding asparagus to this, zucchini. So we can add some greens. And then I have basil from my garden as well. This is kind of coming into the end. We've had such a dry season. And I'm just going to julienne my basil and add that on top. I wish that we had the ability for you to smell this, because all those flavors, the basil, the fennel, the shrimp, the corn, the garlic. So look for the recipe in the comments below. Try this for dinner tonight. Your family will love it. Have a great weekend.